The exhibition's called The Art of Mushrooms, and the aim was to bring together 20 artists from around the world, including Portugal, that represent the breadth of the way artists and designers are inspired by fungi. So we've got sculpture and painting and photography and collage work and animation and bricks and shoes and music, all that comes out of a single organism. Mushrooms present an amazing metaphor for thinking about how to look at nature and our relationship to it, how to place the human within society. What's so interesting is how they've become a metaphor for thinking about everything from philosophy to ideas around how economy can work, how ideas of what beauty involves. We have 3 thematics within the show. One is around why mushrooms, really thinking about discovering what fungi are. The others is Mushroom in the Mind, which is looking at mushrooms as an idea for thinking about the fantastical and sometimes the psychedelic, but actually a more wider idea about thinking of fungi as a way of thinking about magic in life at this period in time. And then mushrooms looking at ideas of new horizons and what that means in terms of mushrooms as a material, mycelium used to think about how to think of new ways of living going forward. Right now I'm in front of Sylvie Fleury, who's done these amazing mushrooms using car paint. And she's very much inspired by ideas around feminism and representation. Okay, we've got Takashi Hama. He's a Japanese photographer that started photographing mushrooms in the wake of the Fukushima disaster. So he's particularly focusing on mushrooms that are coming out of toxic spaces. Fungi are the first things to appear at toxic destinations and remove negativity, let's say, or bad materials from space. Then we have a Brazilian artist called Stefan Deutschenoff, who created a painting for the show, which is inspired by ideas around Brazilian animism and spirituality. He's created his own kind of religion, and fungi are part of that. Shauna Gavin is the main picture used within the show. She was my gateway mushroom, the first mushroom I discovered. Her hand-cut collage work has been turned into prints here, and she represents mushrooms either as these utopian architectural scapes or anthropomorphic characters, so mushrooms as a kind of people. Then we have Karsten Holler. He's one of the best-known artists working with mushrooms. He's created a large sculptural work, which is 3 fungi embedded into one single object. We have paintings done by Sofia Ares, who's a Portuguese artist representing sort of biological drawings and paintings, watercolors, of mushrooms native to Portugal itself. We've got 8 of those on show here. And Perks and Minnie, who've done a rug piece specifically for the show. In the next room, we have work by Crystal Peters. Crystal Peters has done prototypes of shoes made out of mycelium. And at the end, we have Jonathan Zawada. Jonathan Zawada's an Australian digital artist who originally made NFTs of fungi, but the animation we have here was made for the show and has these unreal fungi blending into one another, very much connecting ideas around technology and mushrooms. Mei-Ling Loco is the central piece in that room. She's created bricks out of mycelium, so she's looking at different ways to practically work and create spaces out of fungi. We have Michael Aiko, who's created music for the second space, which is made by attaching different kinds of mushrooms to sensors, and that creates the sound that you're hearing. So we're actually hearing what mushroom music sounds like. Vanessa Brago is a Portuguese artist who works with deadstock wools and different textile materials made in Porto, and she reimagines these using different kinds of techniques from weaving to embroidery to create, in this case, our first take on what are mushroom-like forms. Often she'll be working with other natural spaces like imagery under the sea, but yes, Vanessa Brago's created a fabric take on what lion's mane mushrooms look like. Throughout the park, you'll see sentences describing interesting facts around mushrooms painted on small orange labels, these little plaques. And it's amazing the different facts you can find out around fungi.